Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So, this is an ASMR video talking about football results from this past weekend. And you might want to watch this video to relax after a hard day of work, or just because it's maybe interesting to you, or lastly because it might help you fall asleep. Either way, thanks so much for clicking on the video. Don't forget to click like, and if you are new to the channel, click subscribe. Okay, so, nothing particularly exciting happened this week, particularly in the Premier League. No massive rivalries, big scorelines, anything like that. But despite that, you guys asked me quite a few times in the comments from about Sunday afternoon, evening onwards to today, to do a video quite urgently on what happened in the Premier League. I can't think why, but yeah, let's have a quick look then. We'll have a look at the Premier League first, and then we're going to look through the other European results, and if I've got time we will also look at the States and Mexico, for example, and just see what's happening there too. Okay, so let's have a little look at the results. Oh my goodness, what's that? Okay, we need to get it out of the way because you guys have been talking about it non-stop. I didn't actually watch the first half. I looked at the scoreline when it was 1-0 to Liverpool. I was expecting a Man United win based on the form of the two clubs at the moment. And I went and just stuck the kettle on for a cup of tea, and then I put the stream on my laptop, and in that time Liverpool were 3-0 up, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought, oh my goodness, this is absolutely shocking. And then it just carried on and on and on, and I have to say, at one point I thought a Liverpool player could have stood in their own box, kicked the ball up into the air, and it would have landed in the Man United goal. Literally everything they touched just went straight into the back of the net. Nothing De Gea could have done, probably. And yeah, okay, I get the criticism of the defending, because, basically you wouldn't concede 7 goals if the defence was, top notch. But it was a second half capitulation, and combined with one of those sort of matches where literally everything they kicked went into the back of the net. I think a lot can be said for, momentum and the crowd. The crowd were obviously amazing at Anfield, and it's the most important game of the year potentially for them. And yeah, they're both massive clubs, and they've got a huge history, and the cities have got a huge rivalry as well, not just the clubs. So it's a big game, but yeah, it's like, maybe I'm naive, but I don't think it was just, bad defending. You don't have a team like Manchester United with World Cup winners in the team and World Cup finalists and serial winners of the Champions League and lose 7-0 away from home. It was just like literally everything went wrong that could have gone wrong. So yeah, it was, Bruno Fernandes had a horrific second half. Luke Shaw was just horrific in central defence. I don't know why Ten Hag made that decision. Who else played badly? De Gea. The goals, some of the goals he couldn't literally do anything about, others just like went through his legs and stuff. But on the other hand, I think it says more about Liverpool, because their pressing was really, really high, which it hasn't been most of the season. Their accuracy with shots on goal, their creativity, their drive, their verve, their energy, it was just all back. And okay, I think we can't draw too many conclusions from this match. We can't say, for example, Liverpool are back, they're going to, wipe out every team from here on in. And equally, you can't say, oh yeah, Man United are terrible, they can't defend. And I think the only conclusion really that you can draw is that it was an insanely entertaining match. Horrific if you're a Man United fan. Wonderful, you know, season-defining or whatever, once in a lifetime if you're a Liverpool fan. My friend was at the game, so he's a lifelong Liverpool fan, and yeah, he was absolutely chuffed. But equally, you know, bragging rights aside, I don't think it really tells us that much about. Maybe it suggests that Man United can't win the league this year. I think it's probably too far a stretch. I think maybe they've been overachieving and doing well on a run, but I don't think it brings anyone into question as such, individuals or tactics or anything like that. I think it was just one of those games that literally everything that Liverpool touched went into the back of the net. Yeah, so well done to Liverpool, commiserations to Man United, but overall it doesn't actually do much in terms of the table because Man United weren't top. Liverpool aren't in the Champions League spots. So yeah, it's kind of as you were, but in a microcosm it's a massive big deal that Liverpool maybe can turn a corner and Man United can maybe be reminded after that amazing doubleheader against Barcelona recently, for example. Just remind them a little bit that they're not the finished article just yet. So yeah, other than that, I think it was a wonderful game for the neutrals. Absolutely amazing. But I'm not sort of drawing too much from that result. This was a really important game for both teams, down the bottom of the table-ish. And my fellow Welshman, Brendan Johnson, I saw the goals in the highlights reel, and yeah, he's, you know, a 21-year-old carrying a Premier League side. I'm just so excited for his future. He does remind me, he's not going to be anywhere near as good as Bale. No one is in the history of our sport. I think he's just once in a lifetime for Wales, but I think, you know, we had Giggs and then we had Bale. I think he's going to be the natural sort of amazing, tricky winger who goal scores for the national team. And yeah, I think he's going to be not just Nottingham Forest's star player, but actually Wales's for the next 10 years. So Everton did really great. Nice to see Doucouré, who's back in the team now with the new manager, doing well. He's a handful. He's got lots of things in his locker, the pace, the height, the strength. He could maybe, with his form at the moment, get them out of trouble. Okay. Those are the two results yesterday on Sunday. This video is going to come out on Tuesday, so the result of this match will be known, Brentford-Fulham. And let's have a look at the matches on Saturday. So a big one for Newcastle United, who have slipped out of the Champions League spots. Lost 2-0 to Man City. Arsenal beat Bournemouth 3-2. Aston Villa beat Crystal Palace 1-0. Brighton beat West Ham 4-0. I watched that. Brighton looked like, I don't know, like Barcelona. They were just amazing. I'm going to do a video on Brighton pretty soon. Actually, technically, as soon as I stop recording this video, I'm going to do it. Chelsea. Everyone take a deep breath. Chelsea won a match. And they didn't concede. And they actually scored. I know. What a shocker. So Chelsea beat Leeds 1-0. What a relief for all those Chelsea subscribers I have. Write your comments in the comment section below about, you know, what do you think? Obviously Leeds right at the bottom of the table. Chelsea should be doing a lot better. Should they have scored more? Were they lucky? I haven't seen the match. I'll look at it later. Tell me what happened. And I keep saying Tottenham are so inconsistent. 1-0 loss away to Wolves. Can't get any space between themselves and Newcastle and a chasing Liverpool side who are looking for Champions League football. So they've shot themselves in the foot again. And Southampton, bottom of the table, but 1-0 winners over Leicester. Let's have a look at that table then quickly before we move on to Spain and Germany and Italy. Okay, so Arsenal are still top. They've actually managed to get a little bit of a buffer, 5 points, even though Man City were top at one point. Man City now, oh gosh, 14 points away, even though they've got a game in hand. Spurs still up there, but just so inconsistent. 45 points. Liverpool with 42 now. Newcastle having a slump, 41. Fulham still in the hunt, 39. That would be a massive shock, wouldn't it? But not entirely undeserved. And that will be the story of the season for me. Brighton getting into maybe not just a European spot, but to be honest, if I were looking at Tottenham, I'd be thinking we can catch them. I tell you for nothing that their form is definitely better than Tottenham's. Yeah, so they got Leeds next as well, whereas Spurs have got a difficult-ish game against Nottingham Forest, and Liverpool probably with Bournemouth next can put themselves in pole position to try and grab that fourth spot. Who, a couple of weeks ago we did not see that coming. Chelsea in 10th, and then you got Forest in 14th, Leicester in 15th, West Ham in 16th, and then you've got Everton still down there, but they got at least a win and a draw in the last 5. Brentford next, and Brentford are quite difficult to beat this season. 22 points, but they got 22, they got 23, they got 24. One win, and you're well out. Equally, these teams need to be worried. Southampton trying to find some form now, but they've got Man United next. Poor Bournemouth down the bottom, 21 points. Not adrift, it's very close, but they've got Liverpool next. So, what do we think is going to happen? I'm going to do a video soon on the relegation battle after one of you very kindly suggested it, and I thought it was a great idea, so keep those suggestions for videos coming. As I said before, I'm going to do a history video on Brighton. I've done a couple, but I haven't done them for 6 months or something. I used to do them all the time at the beginning of this channel's life, so I'm going to do Brighton. Tell me who else I should do. I've already done Liverpool, Spurs, Arsenal, Man City, Man United, and anyone else? No. So if you want, and Chelsea. If you want any of the others, then put it in the comment section of this video. I have decided though, really bad form, I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to do a separate video for the rest of the results, because otherwise this video is going to be like 40 minutes long. Okay, so I'll stop the video now once we've had a look at the next matches. So Brentford at home to Fulham, tough match, very equal. I predict maybe a draw, 1-1. Bournemouth Liverpool, at the minute, Liverpool to win 2-0, 3-0. Oh yeah, because that's tonight's match, so Brentford play again on the weekend then, so away to Everton, I think maybe a draw, maybe 1-1. Leeds, Brighton to win that for me, even though Leeds are at home. Brighton are scoring lots of goals at the minute as well, so it could be 2-0. Leicester at home to Chelsea, inconsistent against inconsistent, so who knows. Leicester could win 4-0, Chelsea could win 3-0, literally anything could happen. Spurs at home to Nottingham Forest. I think Spurs are better at home than they are away, so maybe a slight win, 1-0, something like that. Crystal Palace home to Man City to win, but not by much. And then Fulham, Arsenal. I think Fulham might get a draw out of that. Man United, Southampton. Man United to win. But Southampton are bouncing back. And if their confidence, it's going to be one or two things that happen, I think. Come out and they just destroy Southampton because they're angry. Or it knocks their confidence. And they get a draw at home. And then, people start asking lots of very serious questions about the team. West Ham, Aston Villa. I think after West Ham's horrific result against Brighton 4-0, Aston Villa got a chance here, maybe to get a draw. And then Newcastle at home to Wolves. It's a big test for Newcastle. If they can win, they're back in the hunt for Champions League. But, they're at home as well, but, it's tricky. And, yeah, that'll be a massive indicator of how Newcastle are going to do. But we'll see. I'm predicting a small win. 1-0 or 2-1 to Wolves, but we'll see. What's Wolves' form like, actually? All over the place. That's not helpful. As is Newcastle haven't won in a while, have they? Maybe a draw then. Interesting. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Drop me lots of comments, and I'll see you really, really soon.